MIBR 4-1 up on the T side of Inferno. This is a best of one, best of threes to come, of course, but your opening gambit is always in this format. And Mouse Sports, they've had to swallow a couple of bitter pills already, and this one, no different, just pistols.
Just the pistols for now, a partial buy as they get ready for maximum loss bonus next round. Indeed it is. So 5-7 Steagles for now. No armor, but they have got a couple of smokes. We'll see now if this is where they can start to find a couple of opening kills. 3 players towards B, Carrigan, Chris J, and Frozen. Balls on that side of the map. Zero's going to find a frag after frag. He'll be 4 minutes back as all 5 players from the Brazilian squad make their way over towards the bomb site. Nothing too flashy required here, Alex. Couple of smokes in, Coffins and CD spawn, Molotov new boxes, triple flash over. Get yourself in, find those kills. It shouldn't be an issue.
One smoke on Chris J. I imagine that's to delay the first nades coming in. So is this enough for Q? That is it. You see it come out of Fallen Hands, and it comes out of Chris J's too. Not the best smoke, but hopefully going to make things awkward. There's a bit of a gap. Phelps was hoping to exploit. Frozen trying to leap over the boxes, draw attention towards him, keep Chris J a little bit of a second thought, and that's enough. Carrigan actually found the frag. Carrigan pushing through that smoke now as Chris J didn't quite get the memo. Carrigan, what's this? He's got 3. Chris J another. They're shutting them down with nothing. Fallen, he's only got 40 points of health. He does have the AWP, but he's got no time. The round is over.
Oh! The round is over, but so is Voxic. Get him out of here. Fallen looked like he was absolutely out of it and somehow makes that work. So sure, they win the round, and that's worth a fist bump. But the fact that he survived there and it looked like a lock-in kill to remove the AWP, that's still going to be a little bit disheartening for them. But yes, Carrigan saving the day there, absolutely, really well played.
Pushes through the smoke. The calls are so already concrete for MIBR. They know there's one Coffins. The call is one new box. The eyes are on that side of the site. And Carrigan, he just, well, it's a ballsy play. That's the bottom line. Balls of steel. Charges in with an SG.
Very impressive.
Timeout straight after it.
That's one of the players I wanted to point out when we discussed earlier. Like, we've seen a resurgence in terms of players you wouldn't necessarily consider big fraggers. In today's game, when we have the Creeds and the Orgs, these lesser names you don't expect to be big number pullers, this is actually changing into something quite promising for players like Carrigan, I would say. Like, he's actually looked much better since the rifles have come into CSGO in general. It looks like his numbers have improved somewhat.
But are you using that to paint and say that the skill ceiling has got lower?
No, I'm not. I just feel like it's a new game out there these days, and the players that are adopted early and pick this weapon up, they're reaping the benefits early. And Carrigan's certainly one of those players has been using it for a while.
I mean, if he sees that change to the game he loves and he wants to succeed in it, absolutely, do your homework, do your prep. 800 frags deathmatch every day with both of the scoped weapons you want to use. That's my homework.
That's the machine regime, is it?
Yeah, I've seen the One Punch Man workout regime. That's crazy. Great results though. You do have to run some crazy amount of kilometers every day. Other than that,
I'll be ready for this round. Fallen saved the AWP from the previous one in a scrappy affair. Chris J presenting the same sort of aggression he did before. This time it was more comfortable to hold him by himself. Frozen rotates out, Voxic, anything but. He'll get the first kill. Fur goes down, drops back towards the arch. And in terms of the setup from MIBR, they have 3 players towards the apartments once again. They'll flash themselves off the chimney, I suppose, and see if they can find Ross. But it's a gamble at best. If they can get a couple of kills here, I'll be impressed. Very difficult to get out of here cleanly.
Objective set, charge begins. They strafe out towards short. Rops hears it and ready to react. The bunnies arrive, and Phelps, he only gets 1. Carrigan dips his head under. He knows there's a threat of Cold Zero as he descends from balcony, falling into support with that AWP we talked about, and he's already connected. Site clear. 38 and the bomb on the back of Cold Zero. He could perhaps get the bomb in the safe corner. He does so. Now Fallen, it's a game of survival as well. He's got to keep his teammates safe. But ideally, he wants to find an afterplan position. I think he's going to have to accept to be on site.
I think so. He's combative with the AWP, so he'll be fine with this. Good smoke towards the apartments allows him to focus towards the quad side here. Shoulder peek from Frozen, ends his life, and now Chris J out of the apartments now. He comes through the smoke. He knows exactly where Cold Zero is. This kill is absolutely massive, but of course, it's Cold Zero. He lands it once again. Another close range headshot with the Krieg, and that's going to be 5-2. Remember, they came in with 3 pistols, 1 rifle, and the AWP, and it's enough. It was not an easy round. It comes right down to the wire, but Cold Zero delivers once again.
Now here's a stat for you, Woxic. Of all the players at this tournament, he holds the highest in opening duels. And of course, I mean, I imagine that's going to be across the online season as well. He did have a fantastic time there. That was Fallen's way in. If Carrigan hadn't have fallen there, I think Cold Zero would have had an awkward fight with him himself.
Dry peek from Frozen.
Okay, and the round started and the round's over. There we go. preferring coldzera. In the first 10 seconds, find a frag each.
This will be quite a simple round. Stick together, trade out, any damage taken will be handed back in due course, and there it is. It's going to be a 5 versus 1, one of the quickest rounds you'll see in Counter-Strike, as just poor old Frozen with a P250, a T steps, bombs to be planted, not really much to do.
It is a wonderful storyline from MIBR. You know the taco angle of we don't think we need you. Holy hell! Look at the damage.
Yes.
We need you. Comes back, succeed. I think that's a very cool. Not only a statement about the value of players like Taco and the role they fill. I'm just going to be careful in case he just somehow slaughters them. He doesn't. But yeah, this whole story arc of the Brazilians who ruled the world of Counter-Strike, then were humbled, felt like they needed more firepower. They you know, bring Zeus back. I mean, he had a whole adventure at Team Liquid. They kind of went, guys, it worked before, it can work again.
Yeah,
and
we're seeing that happen
surely
to a few teams there. To a lesser extent, if you look at ENCE, for example, a team that has stunned the world with their performances and the trophies, the podium finishes they were getting, now finding themselves in a point where they're kind of plateauing, right?
Yeah.
Where do they go from here? How do they evolve their game? Their system was fantastic, but now so much attention towards them. And speaking of which, Frozen's going to send a bit of attention towards the bottom and middle. He's in 1 and 8 right now. Adds another frag to that total. Phelps will be dropped. This aggression is looking very beneficial. Not so much for Fallen. He will be taken down as Robs will drop as well. They've got a huge lead here, and I think the round is completed. Robs has done such a great job using those sound cues to his advantage. 5 on 2 for coldzera. Not really much to do there.
Now you understand this game far better than me, Henry. A lot of people watching are going to think, what the hell was Fallen doing? Is that just a bit of a miscall?
That's just a reactive play because the fact because Frozen's towards the bottom and middle, right, it suggests their setup's not going to be traditional. There's going to be gaps in the setup somewhere, right? So we've lost that first pick, we've lost middle completely. Our banana players might go down here as well. If I can go out and get a transitioning player from Arch or someone on the bomb side, I've cracked something open. I've done something with it. So sure, it looks a little bit silly, I suppose, but overall his mentality was, this round's done, we've lost everything, I need to get it back in our face.
Okay, understood. Because you do see that play coming out, you know, in another world, he comes out, catches the transitioner, and it's genius.
Yep.
May look silly at times, that's the one.
If he goes out there and kills a guy at Arch, and then the whole A side's open, it looks genius, right? But but sometimes you have to make those calls. I don't think this is touched upon enough in CS, is having gut feelings. You hear one bit of information, you're just like, okay, if that dude's down towards bottom and middle, it means there's going to be some sort of holes to exploit. I'm going to see what I can do. If I get it, my teammates are behind me, which they were. If he gets that one kill, boom, they've actually turned around on his head. And it's still very early on in the game. They have a 6-3 lead, so not the end of the world, as they will buy up into this one. One rifle, though, I should state. Just the Creeper coldzera. I say just. The things he's been doing with that weapon, Alex, are pretty unspeakable.
Truly. There's very few players capable of making the SG look this appealing. I mean, this is a weapon I need to be using ASAP if I could use it like this. 10 frags for him so far, into round 10, rather appropriately. But the buy is somewhat of a hindrance for MIBR. Let's see what they choose to make of it. We've seen success from them pouring out of apartments before. Perhaps Carrigan and Ross have learned from their previous shortcomings of keeping their apartments burst. So coldzera's lining up the smoke. That's going to be kind of creating somewhat of a wall between the arch ramp and the site itself. Carrigan is going to have to make some decisions fast as they start to pour out. A good flashbang, good timing, and now the fight's coming. He swings, the molly's good, the damage is good. He's holding fire as they wait in the smoke, and now Fallen emerges from balcony. Locked out by the smoke himself, but Frozen and Woxic, they're doing enough to keep it equal. 2v2, Woxic wins the round and burns for his merit. My goodness.
Wow. Okay, I like that. That's the sort of Counter-Strike that gets your heart racing. You don't know what's going on. There's grenades everywhere. There's bodies hitting the deck. But it will be Mousesports just about getting through with the skin of their teeth. The execution, which is probably the best port of call, right? Considering you've got MAC-10s, pistols, a couple of rifles. You want to get those smokes down. You can see the smoke towards the left-hand side of the library. Just segregate these players on the bomb site here. The Voxy, incredibly strong spray from him. Yeah, that was really cool. He goes down to the flames in the end, but the round's done. Money going to be weaker on their side, but lucky for them, there was a force fight from MIBR, so they're pretty much on nothing now. Deagle, no armor. I say nothing. They do significant damage towards Chris Jaber. He wants to keep going, and it will cost him his life, Alex, I'm afraid.
Frozen hopefully will pick up the pieces, otherwise Chris J is going to have some toe-curling moments in about 30 seconds time. Frozen, he knows there's one close, and yep, Chris J's info has got the banana back under control. Just hoping the CTs step out of line at this point. No other real options for them. No nades, no hope, no weapons. Carrigan picked up the pieces. Coldzera, he's always a threat. Had no health, no cover, still finds the one frag. And actually, Fur's going to find another one. This has become a 1v2. Frozen, he's on for the ace. I think it's likely he's about to be fed it.
Okay, well, first 40 seconds, he's got through the underpass. He'll make his way towards T steps. I don't think he's saving here. The bomb's down all the way between that banana, Voxic and Frozen patrolling it. There should be no way he wins this. We'll see what he can do. That's why, because it's such a typical angle. You've got a strong sniper at the top, one of the bright upcoming stars of CSGO. Frozen waiting at the bottom.
Voxic or Voxic?
I say Voxic. I think it sounds
I know that's how he says it.
Yeah.
Because he says Voxic. Yanko says Voxic. But I think it's an accent thing. I'm going to go for Voxic. That sounds cooler.
Like Voxic sounds,
Not wrong.
Voxic sounds cool.
Voxic sounds like a badass.
That's why I've gone with.
Okay, I'm taking Voxic. And I have to apologize. There's probably at like 5% of the chat who for some reason really are hating the fact I'm calling it Zipnix when I was casting Astralis.
Sure. I kind of hate that too.
I can't break it. It's such a hard habit to break.
We'll get it.
Anders did.
We've got a week.
It's all Anders. Blame him. Pushing. Carrigan. Big push. And actually, Phelps is going to help him out, but it is just going to be the 1-for-1.
Yeah, but things aren't done just yet. Chris J has been aggressive, hasn't he?
They both are. Double peeking into the smoke. They know where they're hiding. The smoke's the only obscurity. They find another. Fallen's paid a heavy price. Voxic is going to be pressured as they start to wrap. This is a wrap towards B6. Who is that? Chris J. He's going to be aware and alert. He's actually going to be positioning himself perfectly. Rops nearly get caught out. Chris J does silence just one presence on that day. Flank Fur is there as well, but he's playing the waiting game. They have the positions to cause a bit of an upset here. It is yes a 2v4 and Fallen's low. But if Fur was to catch a Voxic in transition, which is exactly where he's going. Here we go. This is where the castle starts to come crumbling down. If he finds the second on, the A site would be open and they've got a route in. Not expecting pit though, and Robs will punish. That should be the round.
Good try, and some money found there for sure, but yeah, Fallen with another player on the side here. He'll do what he can, but unfortunately for him, Frozen will close things out. We really have got a game on our hands now. It's got the 6-6. Mousesport's really starting to tie things up. They had a rough start into this one, but I love the aggression they're presenting every single round. They're not scared of MLBR. They're not intimidated by any stretch of the imagination here. They're pushing, they're ready to frag, and they've got some absolute great aim stars within their roster as well, so why not? Carrigan knows he's got them available to him, and start throwing them towards them.
It is grindy though. I mean, it's yeah. 1-for-1, back and forth. Fur got himself 1500 with this one. Of course, 2 of them crossed, 1 of them fell from Chris J. An alert CT, but hang on a second, Henry's excited.
That's enabled him to get the hero AK out here. That could be enough. A player like Fur can make that work. It's Phelps to go down first here. Another brawl of a round here, Alex. But it's Frozen, showing us that star level everyone's been talking about. We've been wanting to see it. And he's certainly delivering the last few months. He is a fantastic player. Has Fallen with the Desert Eagle now. Looks like he might be out of luck. Throws a flashbang. He's going to have to peek before it. And Carrigan will be ready. Strikes him down. And Coldzera, again, seems to be focusing more on this kind of lurk mentality so far on the T side of Inferno. It's going to be Mousesports taking the lead now for the first time. They have had a struggle on their CT side. This will call for an MIBR timeout. Their money is okay. They're averaging about $4,000 per player. But things starting to drop off now. They've lost 5 rounds in a row.
And you know what excites me is just how much of this game there is to come. This is, sure, it's a best of 1. There is so much more Counter-Strike to be played between these two, and they are inseparable at the moment.
And it's the CT side of MIBR is where they actually struggle somewhat. It's their B-bomb side where I feel like they have weaknesses. They rely heavily on Coldzera's T-side performances to actually get them big rounds, and that's been evident so far. You can see he's got 12 kills. Might not sound like a monstrous amount, but we've only had 13 rounds of play. The rounds they've been winning, he's been going off. He's been finding the kills. So he always is that kind of the ace up their sleeve, but we'll see what they can do here in round 14. They have brought up 2 Galils, a Krieg, 2 AKs. It suggests they need to go for more set-piece mentality here. They are getting bullied off certain parts of the map, especially towards Banana. Carrigan will be dropping an aggressive smoke down towards middle. I feel like that's just to suggest we're going aggressive again, and they'll have to dump a lot of utility into it just to investigate that position. As you can see, they haven't really checked out second middle at all yet. Fur does get through eventually, but they do not push down on the CT side. They're going to keep throwing that smoke just to keep suggesting they might go aggressive again.
Just got quite low utility in this direction. Recovered, but down past half health. So liberal.
I love it.
Information that would otherwise take 30 seconds to acquire, he holds W, gets it in 5.
It's because because they're smoking T-steps with conviction every single time, so that means the Orba can't really back up anyone that does want to challenge it. They've got their system of the grenades, and Chris J happy to fight blind, it seems. He'll run around that corner, no problem. Even if there's flames down, you've got to respect it. And it just sets the precedent on that side of the map. It means once you don't do that position, that sort of play, they're going to have to use their grenades regardless.
Flash, peek, again, rinse, repeat. Constantly poking and prodding any Ts that want to establish themselves in Banana. They've still got utility as well. Take note, a smoke on Frozen. Chris J's got nothing, and that's actually probably going to work out in Mousesport's favour should they not go towards this site, because they're heading towards the utility. They're heading towards the defense.
Yeah, Roxy's got the arch side covered. It's going to be a quad finish by the looks of things from MIBR. And Sendry just to funnel them, confirm things, and Vox can have the focus on the bomb site. Bomb there. They are going to have a bit of an issue, though. They are going to actually commit to this. Voxic, he has to knife out and just try and survive at this point. Makes it towards the arch, but smoked. He'll have to reposition back towards Library. MIBR just so relentless with their pressure towards A, but this is Carrigan baiting and rocks. Wait for him to make his arrival on the site. He doesn't want to show unless he absolutely has to. Still waiting, and he gets his first. 8 seconds remaining. This is when he knows he can win the round single-handedly, buying the time. No chance to plant now. Not going for the flashy plays, Alex. Playing the rounds to win the itself. He doesn't want to go for
gorgeous work. The fact that, I mean, I hadn't noticed it, but Carrigan, the fact that he wasn't necessarily trying to hit those shots, sure, tapping away at the heads, but he was taking the hardest shot he could to keep him alive the longest.
Just
kept that clock going.
He wanted to be a nuisance, and Rops didn't want, like I said, he doesn't want the highlight clips, he doesn't want the big 3-man spray down. He's running that clock down as low as it possibly can, then fighting. Again, staying alive and making sure there's no chance of plant, then he'll get the kill. That's what's the difference between someone who's an exciting young talent and someone who's really learning how to be a professional Counter-Strike player.
And imagine what Robs is doing for Frozen. He's been there, he's done it. Phelps, again, has to pay a hard price too soon. This is what happens. If you want to stick around and actually vie for control, you're down low. Fur's even lower. Robs shuts down his initial aggression towards A and backs away. 9-6, it would be a rather juicy morsel for Mousesports, especially considering if, you know, what you're saying is true, that the CT side can be difficult for MIBR. 9 rounds coming into your T side, Mousesports could be setting themselves up nicely.
I feel like they really rely on Fallen on the CT side. They need him to have a strong game. Like, he has to have one of those Device-esque sort of performances where he's everywhere on the map. He's towards B, middle, apartment, second mid. And unless he can find that form, it's going to be difficult.
I mean, money could be tight.
Yeah. So this is still like a great half of them. Like 6 rounds is great, but let's see if Voxic can deny them a 7th. That's not bad. He gets the bomb down. They've got nothing to say about that. The Galils will do 0 work. 5 versus 1, Alex. I feel like Taco might be out of this one.
He's not done badly, though. Fantastic work on 2. Another one's low. That's 3. Taco looking for a 1v5 with 4 HP. Ambitious, but so were the first 3 frags. Has a smoke if he wants to retrieve that bomb, quote-unquote, safely. Bullets likely would follow from Frozen. So makes his intentions clear. Will Frozen, he does. 25, and Chris J just paid him in. I was so invested, I didn't even look at the map.
Well,
Chris J having a walk.
Was one very exciting half. It looked like MIBR were going to run away with it, but Mousesports have come online and they are ready to take this best of 1. Will they be able to do it? Get to find out after this break. We'll be right back.
Inferno continues, Mouse Sports versus MIBR. Mouse managed to nurture 9 on their defense, and now it's time for the Brazilians to do their best to take us all the way. Hoping for a close game, and indeed it does really look to be going that way. Mouse Sports have indicated a clear game plan. Aggression seems to be at the tippy top of their list, and it got them this far. Let's see how the second half. I'm joined by Henry. Let's see how this one starts off. Speaking of aggression, here comes MIBR.
I love it, Alex. This is a lot of fun to watch. It's Robs to open things up. He's got the Superman setup, a P250 armor combo, and he's got CTs all around him as well. This is a weird round. It's difficult to analyze this one, Alex.
Look at the minimap. There are fights happening in underpass at 90 seconds left on the clock.
Unbelievable scenes here. Well, it's going to be the man advantage even more so now for Mouse Sports as they find themselves in a 5 versus 2. The aggression seems like it might have been in vain, but clawing their way back into it. Smoke is strong from Chris J. He gets the 1 kill here. The USB not the best weapon for the job. The last bullet is what keeps him alive. And in the fight, Phelps can't react. Now Fallen will have his work cut out for him. They'll book it towards the B bomb site. I think he's aware of that prospect. He's got a smoke, an AG, a decoy, but no defuse kit. And I think he might be out of luck as well. Unfortunately for him, Chris J has done such a great job of staying alive and containing him towards that middle position.
I mean, that was like ships in the night.
Yep.
The most Mouse Sports charge up second mid, MIBR charge down mid. Fantastic stuff. It caused a lot of instability. The round just got chaotic. I imagine communications got chaotic, trying to pinpoint where these players were coming from.
We can see everything, right? We've got the X-rays, we've got the mini-maps, and even for me, I was like, wait, who's got the advantage here? Who's doing well? Who's actually going to find the next kill? And there was an absolute brawl. And those sort of rounds, like, they're not classic Counter-Strike rounds, but they certainly have a place in today's game. It seems like a lot of teams want to push down towards mid on the CT side just to shut down any execution potential. Even if you get a 1-for-1 trade, you've removed any chance they had of maybe going for a 5-man execution on this side of the map, or if they're going to do a rush, they're going to have to slow it right down and cancel it. So if you do get the advantage there, you're happy your players get the kills, it's great. But Mouse Sports, like you said, second middle is the ultimate counter, because then you get close range, you get behind those USPs, and at close range, the Glock will come out on top.
And that puts Mouse Sports in prime position to start to step on the throat. 10-6, looking for 11 and looking to do so with a hero AK on ROPS. The rest just going to be bouncing around with MAC-10s and UMPs respectively. And Fallen's actually got himself a UMP. We'll see where he chooses to take that one as the nades do start to rain in. Nothing to write home about in terms of damage. Molotov keeps Fallen at bay for now, but smoke there too.
Well then, the UMP have Fallen. And we'll find one somehow, but he's taking a lot of damage here, down to 4 HP, and Mal 0, the follow-up grenade will take him down. So yes, it's a nice opening pick. They lose the only SMG they had in a 4-on-4. Regardless of the setup, it was a full gun round, still favors the T side. So, nice opening kill, unlucky not to get away. Tackle and Coldzera playing heads-up CS towards the top middle. They've had to deploy a smoke, not feeling 100% comfortable there.
I am loving the fact that all utility is color-coded now. It's cool, sick. I'm seeing blue smokes and orange Molotovs flying across the map. It is gorgeous to look at. Said, once again, very little gained so far from Mouse Sports, but they still have all the tools at their disposal. Does look like they're starting to set their sights towards B, which is where the lion's share of MIBR's weaponry lies. Fur has picked up Fallen's UMP. But they've got nothing to keep them at bay. Phelps is on the scene with a smoke. 30 seconds, this could be the perfect time to utilize it. A flash perhaps and a peek. He's thinking about it. Does have Fur to swing with it.
Yeah, that flashbang bounce off the back of the wall there can be very powerful. Will finish up towards B, 20 seconds remaining.
Waiting for steps, right?
Smoke down, and this is the commitment now. Flashbang goes in, Phelps has to deliver. It's got players in front of him, but the MAC-10 comes out on top. Fur does great work to bring it into a 2-on-2. Problem is, the other two players are the CTs. They're on the A-bomb side, Coldzera and Taco. Deagles in hand, with armor as well, but no defuse kit or grenades up against the AK and UMP. Worth going for sure. If there's any mistakes made, any close range pushes. They had the Molotov, which flushes Carrigan out, but don't really have much to actually punish him after he has to do a reposition that.
Coldzera and a Deagle. A fun combination of words. We'll see if there's anything more to be said, and it doesn't seem to be the case. Taco, they know exactly where he is. He's running out of time and running out of chances. He's going to have a little bit of a 1v1 versus Carrigan. The UMP prevails, Mouse prevail, and they convert off the pistol. So that's going to be now 11-6.
Big round for Mouse Sports there. Full eco for MIBR on the cards. 12-6 down potentially. Said that many times before though, and sometimes it it's the USPs that come out on top. So it's never a lock-in. No round is in Counter-Strike. Oh, we get the replay of the chicken. You don't like to see that. Chickens are just there, just hanging out, doing their thing.
Yeah, those poor guys, man, they see so much. You know, if chickens could talk.
Right? The things they've seen.
Stories we would learn.
USPs, one smoke, a flashbang, and a deagle for fur. That's about as exciting as it gets. They've got 4 players towards middle. They're going to flash and just pounce and see what's available. Here's the flash, and Frozen's in the burn position. Just a fallback, and nothing gathered from IBR.
These are the toughest rounds. I imagine perhaps even a conversation about what's going to be done about this problem into the next round happening for MIBR. SMGs, of course, in the hands of Mousesports. That's where they can just go hunting, really start to build up a bed of cash. Goal, the info Coldzera is about to receive. He's got himself a P251, would be a dream. They can see him beneath the cart, and it's the end of that one. 600 apiece for all of those frags, and we've got ourselves 12 for Mousesports just in a matter of time.
They were 5-2 down on Mousesports on their CT side, 5-2 down. They then converted 7 rounds in a row towards the end of that first half. They've now got 3 rounds in a row at the beginning of the second half. They have turned this game on its head. MIBR were flying. They were looking fantastic. And all of a sudden, Mousesports have woken up, and they're just taking absolutely everything. As we'll see them now have another clean sweep. Bombs down. For Phelps, not really much can be done. They're trying to find any sort of exit kills, but I don't think that's going to be a possibility.
That's crazy. So actually, I hate to be the guy that's correcting you, but it makes it more exciting. 6-2 to 11-6.
Yeah.
That's just the most absurd comeback. They haven't dropped a round in forever.
It's mad, isn't it? That's insane. Like, it looked like MIBR, again, start really well on Inferno, then it really starts to plummet. Something about this map for them, if they get a good start, it looks great, but they can't seem to stabilize any momentum they always pick up.
So 10 rounds in a row for Mousesports. Let's see if they can find the 11th. Full weapons now, and the player you pointed the finger at is Fallen. CT side Inferno, you have to see Fallen come online.
Well, like I said, Coldzera always delivers on Inferno for them. He hasn't posted a frag in this half yet, but obviously very early days. Fallen, he is the linchpin of the CT side. He has to be the one finding opening picks, making things uncomfortable for the opposition. He needs to be that high-flying player that we know and love. And whether we'll see it today is yet to be seen.
Interesting little one there from Fallen. His smoke, the smoke he throws at the top of Banana leaves a gap for legs, so he can see any inquisitive tees if they want to take their chances, perhaps boost a teammate, any sort of opportunity he can exploit. Little gap there in his smoke grenade, but they start to gather. This is actually quite a fast one on A.
It's the bonus round, right? They've still got residual SMG, so why not get stuck in? There's potential no helmets on the other side. It's the opening kill from Carrigan. They're smoked off the arch here. A lot of pressure being applied towards A. Phelps is just stuck in no man's land. He's not on the bomb side, he's not towards a pit. He will reposition. Coldzera can do nothing about it. No helmet. That cost him his life. Phelps can try and save the day here. The bomb goes down, but he's stuck in the arch. I think they have to save. And now why I call that a bonus round, Alex, is the resources are there. They can buy up rifles if they want to, but they hold on to the MAC-10s and UMPs so they can do a very fast round like that. Someone can call, obviously Carrigan can call, right, we're going to stick together as a 5-man fragging unit here. We're going to throw a fast round in, we're going to run around corners, we're going to push through smokes, we're going to make things a nightmare for them. There's 3 players that have out helmets, and you saw Coldzera as one of them. He was in a prime position to get 2 kills. As soon as he gets touched in the head by UMP, boom, he goes down, that's it. So that's why it's such a great call from Carrigan. Keep the team together, keep it fast in those sort of rounds.
Yeah, I mean, he did just drive by. I mean, he didn't have to do much more. He had all of that chaos being caused by his team. He could just focus on gliding around, bouncing around that site, holding his UMP sideways for extra star points.
Yeah, that's pretty nuts for Mauser. That's like textbook CS. That's like my favorite kind of calling right there from Carrigan. That's why he's considered such a massive commodity within teams, right?
And they leave with a scavenged set of sexy assault rifles.
That's the best way it can go down.
Go better.
So not only do you win the round, you've upgraded those MAC-10s, those UMPs, you've left with AUGs, and now you've got an AWP as well. The only slight caveat, and the fly in the ointment, would be the Fallen saves his AWP, and if he was going to show us that potential we spoke about a couple of minutes ago, this is when you want to see it. Keep it on Fallen for now if he can. He's got the best spawn possible for middle. We'll see if he wants to take that challenge. He is going to jump towards T-steps. He wants to go for it. Gets legged in the process, still willing to fight, but you can see he had to try and do something there, Alex, but unfortunately down to 15 HP.
Now we'll see if Bogdan's Law comes into play. Might go in someone else's hands. I certainly will keep it on Fallen. But Chris J is going to confirm the banana is all theirs. They can plant the Mousesports standard, plant the flag, claim that territory for their own. At the moment, 2 to defend. It's on Fallen. He's low. Fur, he's doing his very best. It's the best of a bad situation. He manages to get a kill, get away, and even get an orb. That could be enough to call the rotate through the smoke bomb loose. Number in favor of MIBR. We needed heroics, and MIBR, they've had some.
That's not bad at all. It's Fur with 2.
Wow.
The second one, I'm not sure he even realized he was going to get that, but Fallen, low HP, perfect position, tags up Rops as well. Remember, he's low, he just wants to get that 1 kill, stay alive. It's all about self-preservation at this point, down at 4 HP. The Molotov doesn't flush him out. The smoke is perfect. There's so much being thrown his way, but somehow he still lives. 5 versus 3, advantage for MIBR. The climb ticks away. What is that? How has he picked that one up?
Where did Fur just die?
I think through the coffins.
Through the coffins, it was. Yeah, you can see the X. It does have a rotate though. Support is there from Taco. Fallen still alive, by the way. Heart still beating.
Just about. He's going to get another as well. You know it. There it is. He has played this so well. That's what we're talking about at Fallen. He gets 1 kill in this round, but he's done enough to win it for them. That's it. He dies, they can't win the round. They can't plant. That is superb. That is excellent from MIBR. They keep themselves in this game just about. It took an absolute monstrous play from Fur to push through the smoke, get the single kill, a spray through the smoke after that to get the second, and still Fallen, low HP, gets 1 more, pushes them back. No plant possible. MIBR still in this, Alex.
He smokes himself.
Yeah.
Just to survive.
He knew the Molotovs were coming, and he worked out.
Gets hit by the Molotov. 1 tick brings him down to 4 HP.
That's insane.
Fur really did just save MIBR. Let's see if they can thank him with more rounds.
Well, they've got the double orb set up now. Notice it's not Cold Zero on that secondary orb. They've focused more on Taco being that role, like he was secondary orb in previous teams as well. We'll see whether he can be a more static, safer pair of hands instead of a more erratic fragger. So he normally holds angles like the apartments, for example. I think that's where he'll be. And Cold Zero watching the right-hand side. So this setup can either go really well or really, really wrong. If Cold Zero goes down quickly, a double kill is on the cards here. They've set themselves up, so that's not so much of an issue. They are on separate sides. Should be a kill for Taco here. No problem. Robs will be taken care of.
And that's the setup. That's exactly what it set out to achieve. However, look what that has left them forgiving or forgoing. Excuse me. Karrigan pushes up. They've got all of that for free. Taco repositions towards pit. Using a passive line. Now Sport starts to pump more utility. Karrigan's just going for a walk. No support and goes down. Now just 3 remain from Mousesports. They're all coming from the same direction. Taco, he's going to get another one here. Perfect hold from the 2 of them. Cold Zera and Taco keeping A on lock. Phelps has arrived on the scene and fills the kill feed himself.
I would have liked to have seen a few more seconds of play there. Just, you know, you're in a 5-on-1. You might as well explore your options and see what's going to be happening.
How much they're going to
Yeah, I really would have liked it. Just 5 more seconds. Let's see if there's 2 kills at least. As soon as you get that 1, you're going down, right? But still, he wasn't going to win the round. But just would have liked to see a bit more financial damage. But there it is. MIBR right back in this game. On the CT side, they win one of those classic Brazilian rounds where you've got absolutely nothing. It's scrappy, it's of CZs, like on Inferno as well. Yeah. Over the years, there's been so many of those rounds for SK Gaming, Luminosity, Keystars, you name it. These guys are good with the CZs on Inferno. They can make it happen.
They thrive in the chaos. I mean, the round they won on their T side. 4 seconds, the bomb goes down. They were flashed, mollied. It doesn't matter. They find a way.
Yeah.
But still staring down the barrel of a 13-8 deficit. Take a look at the scores. Breathe them in. A very consistent scoreboard from Mousesports, which is, you know, testament to how well everyone is playing. Voxic just a little bit ahead above the rest. Quiet game from Phelps, but everywhere else is rather uniform. We're looking to see what MIBR can do now. Round 22, we're jumping straight back into the action. Chris J does seem to be a fan of the Krieg as well.
Oh, he absolutely
And the Double Orbs are in action. Fallen's looking for some aggression early.
Yeah, now they've found a bit of... They've got some resources now. They've got everything they need. They've got all the grenades, a slight buffer of cash as well. And Chris J, oh my goodness, his gameplay, he's bringing out time and time again this relentless aggression. Takes down Taco. What the hell is that? Phelps will be dropped as well. And he isn't slowing down, continuing to press the W key. His teammates have just swarmed the A site. This is a solo play. One man has done it all. Chris J just pushes through the flame, pushes through the smoke. They didn't see it coming. The double kill towards Arch yields them the round. It's going to be 14-8. No tactics deployed there, Alex. No strap book needed. Just send Chris J in, finding kills.
I mean, JW is smiling somewhere if he's watching, because he just found the gap and twisted the knife. My goodness. What a way to destabilize the defense. Just the call, you're baffled that you're even calling it. He's already up arch. The words have even left your mouth and another teammate's died.
Now, the funny thing is, like, I know it myself, had he just run up there by himself and died, we'd be sat here going,
oh, yeah. What's he doing?
What's he done that for?
Oh,
like,
what an idiot.
We'd be right to do so because it's a play that doesn't necessarily make sense. It's just one of those plays. It's just like
that feeling you were talking about?
Gut feeling that he spotted the opening. He realized they might not be ready for it. He knows they're double orbs right now. He's going to take it. He can see what he can do with it. It's unexpected. If it didn't work out, sure, he's throwing them around. If it does work out, the risk/reward factor there is off the scales, and you can see the results there, 14-8.
The name of Chris J's AWP for a long time was Profound Aggression.
Exactly. That makes sense, right?
It's been his motto for a long time.
Yeah, that was really cool. What a play. Not many pros will have the balls to pull that one off.
Charging up arch. Didn't even question that there could be someone holding the midline.
It's so discombobulating as well. Like, you take a timeout now, it's like, what have you been saying though? Like, how did Chris J just kill 2 of you by himself? He's like, he just ran up and killed everyone. I don't know what to tell you. Like, they didn't do anything wrong. It's not an expected play. And against a default, you just don't see that coming. You're set up there. You're all in the corner. You're kind of setting
no
everyone
warnings,
up.
No nades.
Yeah, there was nothing. And it's a really fun play from Chris J. One you love to see. And it's called it like Carrigan's obviously allowed him to have the sort of freedom within this team. They've got smokes down there towards the arch and the library. Get him stuck in. And it was beautiful.
There was a HE blowing up. That smoke from the HE blowing up did stop Taco's line. He was holding it well.
Yeah.
I mean, he had all of the stars aligned for Chris J in that round, and now he spoke about his AWP. He was not an AWP, it's an SG. Saw him scoped in, got excited.
Early smokes, library and arch. Send Chris J out to get 2 kills. Job done.
14-8 though. MIBR, they have to dig their heels in now. Look like it's going to be a rather slow approach from them. They don't want to be losing, I don't know, say 2 men early on this now on the CT side, and so they're going to let Mousesports come to them.
If they lose this round, Alex, unfortunately it'll be map points and the money will be gone. Must win as Voxer gets the first, and oh my goodness, Frozen showing us that star power once again. Another great headshot, a 5-on-3, cold zero though. As you mentioned before, considered to be one of the best players in the world once upon a time, taken down by Carrigan, and this is the nightmare situation now. MIBR lose the round, it's 15-8, money is absolutely ruined now. They're going to have to save these 2 weapons. They will have pretty substantial loss bonus. It will help them get probably 4 rifles and 1 pistol, but overall this is still going to be such a difficult situation, and that's if everyone survives. That's me assuming that Fallen and Fur are going to take these weapons to the next round. Might not be the case.
Just to, yeah, and another reminder, of course, if anyone joined us halfway through this game, a spectacular comeback of sorts. Acceleration, perhaps a better word for it. Mousesports, they won 10 rounds back to back. MIBR found their first 2 in this half very recently.
They flashed the B site there. Fallen got completely wrecked by the flash. He then repeaked the angle. You're just asking for trouble there, I'm afraid. Like, Voxic,
is he doing the dance?
He was doing the dance around the corner. Like, and at that point, he just had to save the AWP. 1 kill for him was going to do nothing for them. So it's really unfortunate he gives up the AWP because we've just talked about his potential. The win factor on that CT side is his AWP, which they can no longer afford. That repeat didn't have to happen. There was no initial threat in terms of proximity. Here's the shot from Vox. It sits in the flames, takes down Taco, and gets the hell out. And Carrigan, this shot on Cold Zera.
Yeah, check this out.
He was jumping, right? Boom, takes him down.
Quick, and that's the repeat from Fallen. Yeah, I mean, it did look like that was a safe door, almost a guarantee. Now he has to operate with just an MP9. That's
the disparity.
Yeah, that sucks.
Okay, well, 7 rounds in a row required for overtime. That does not sound realistic, and they've got to get through this hurdle first. 2 MP9s for Masses. Fur completely wrecked with the flash, and he's playing heads up. It makes sense. He knows he needs at least 1 kill, right? He needs to get something going in their favor. Unfortunately, now it's just Fallen with an absolutely useless smoke and an MP9 on the bomb site. This is not looking good.
He has to do something rather crazy with this SMG, and Chris J is not letting him even get started. They start to close this game out. Carrigan finds another one. It's looking all over. Just Taco. He's miles away. The bomb's going to be going down, and it does look like Mousesports are going to stay quite comfortably in the upper bracket. A big win, their first game here in the Pro League Finals. They glided through the group stage over in Leicester. Now they find themselves in France. and a fantastic display versus a worthy adversary.
That was such a fun game to watch. 6-2 down, and they've come back with that ruthless aggression. This is a team to be scared about. They are going to cause some damage in this tournament. It looks like they're ready. Sure, we've only seen one map, but I'm liking it, Alex. I'm liking it a lot. We'll throw it over to the analysts and see what they thought.
My goodness, what a ping-pong back-and-forth game that was. Guys, I don't know where to begin exactly, but I can tell you there are some sharpshooters in the server.
There's two sides to the story. One being MIBR is a team that right now is playing some horrible Counter-Strike. The other one is Mousesports being a team that you can reckon with. A team that is growing under the leadership of Kerrigan, and I think it's very impressive to see how far they've already have come. MIBR though.
Should we talk about MIBR? Take a minute and just be a little bit sad about it. Okay, here's the silver lining. I felt like MIBR realized that in the past they were playing too slow in Inferno. They try to play faster than that. They try and be quick. They try and not let the time pressure them into the end of the round. So that was good. They won a bunch of clutches at the beginning. That was good. And then that's it. That's all that went well for them. As soon as Mousesports figured out that they tried to play well, then Mousesports were always ready for the rush. They had the numbers in the right bomb side. Skill-wise, Mousesports was ahead. Yes, that's just one game, but you talk about ping pong. MIBR were ahead 6-2. They lost 6-8.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess from your guys' standpoint, and if you look at that, what does that do to the inner workings of an MIBR, who are certainly still in the tournament? This is not how they wanted their opener to go, but that's going to be a rough one.
I don't even know anymore. I don't even know if MIBR realize how deep down they are right now. It's a team that really haven't come together. It's a team that is not working. You have a guy like Phelps in this game as well. A guy that when he was not on MIBR, super aggressive, super assertive, always good for cementing fragments. In this game, he was 0-4 in the entry department. A guy that used to be one of the brightest talent for the Brazilian team is a guy that is a complete non-factor in MIBR. This is the second time he's on the lineup. They just can't make it work. Whether that's his fault, the performance fault, or the way MIBR is playing, I really don't know. But something with MIBR is simply not working.
But is it something simple that we can sort of pinpoint? It doesn't sound like it.
I mean, it's tough to say. When Phelps joined MIBR again, he said in an interview that he realized the first time he came in with the wrong attitude. He wanted to be a star. That wasn't his place to be in MIBR. Okay, that's one thing. They realized, cool. We'd still have a player which profile is to be aggressive. That's how he used to shine in Immortals. He was a difference maker. He had position with a lot of rotation, a lot of space. So when you know that, it's one thing to know I need to change the way I play, but that's still your strengths as a player.
Well, we got some strengths in the server. That would have been Mousesports. We're going to hear from them directly right now via the sidelines. So let's go ahead and check in with Mousesports.
I've got Kerrigan from Mousesports here. You've just taken a very commanding victory against MIBR. Solid stuff coming out there. The thing I want to start off with, though, is you guys, right? You've got you and Chris, the experienced players, some of these young guns. Obviously, Woxic, Rox, they've been in this, they've come into it. How's it going with Frozen and bring him into such high caliber CS now? Because he seems like such a talented player.
Yeah, I think the environment we have in the team is really good, especially when we are mixed with two old guys like me and Chris, and then we have some young players with some experience, and then David without really much experience. So I think everybody's learning from each other, everybody's adapting to each other, and I can feel it, and probably me and Chris can feel how hungry these young players are, and it kind of like affects everybody. So again, our experience can maybe also help them when we get to a big stage match like in Sydney.
Now, against MIBR, it was starting off pretty shaky, but then you guys just came back fully into it. Was this you guys just adapting to it and realising how to take control of MIBR on their T side?
I feel like we had a pretty good game plan from the beginning. I think I kind of maybe a little nerves in the beginning, didn't really feel the game yet. But slowly we came into it, we had some good banana control, we had some crazy shots with Voxic and some important one-on-one Robs won there. So we came back into the game. So I'm pretty happy, and Inferno is a really good map for us. It has been really good on land, only one loss against Big. So I'm happy with the result today, and kind of hope that we will beat them, because it's really important to win the first game today.
Well, you did win it. Let's see how it goes. Guys on the desk, back to you.
Back to us. That's what we're going to have. Right now, we're going to do this quick pace. That means we're going to take a look at the brackets. As I slow it down just a little bit, I know you guys got a little scared. But what we're going to do is take a look and try to understand how this is all unfolded up at this point. And so far, it's been a day of showings here. G2 and Energy coming out top in their opener, as well as Astralis and Heroic, Cloud9 and Utona now over to the lower brackets, as well as Fnatic and Greyhound. So that's Group A in a nutshell. This is what the lower bracket is starting to look like. Greyhound and Fnatic.
I mean, we wouldn't expect Fnatic to be here.
Well, that's the biggest disappointment.
That is, I mean, when you consider NRG were here with Dab still and Stannis going out of the team. That Fnatic now have to survive that tournament.
Yes, they do, and we need to survive as we take a look at Group B. This is how it's shaped up. A bit of a shaky in there to the game with FaZe Clan and Ty Lue over on Vertigo, but that does set us up for FaZe North. North having actually topple Liquid, sends them down to the lower bracket. And of course, in Liquid fashion, they want to do it harder rather than the easier, smarter way.
Which puts Tyloo in a very uncomfortable position. They have to beat Liquid in a best-of-3 scenario to survive the tournament after losing to FaZe Clan, putting on a decent show, putting on a decent performance. So Tyloo really had it hard done for.
Yep, they did. What we are going to do is take a short little break. We're going to have our next matchup being the first best-of-3 of the day. It's going to be one that you don't want to miss. I can almost guarantee that you don't have any other plans, so even if you did, go ahead and cancel all of them. We're about to get back to the ESL Pro League Season 9 Finals here, and our next matchup is G2 versus NRG. One best-of-3. Will the French find themselves within the confines of the arena? We'll find out when we come back. This is ESL Pro League.
At the highest level of play, there can be no compromises. Gamers demand the highest clock speeds to give them the FPS they need to perform. Rise to the moment. Intel Core i7, the official CPU of the ESL Pro League. Game, record, stream without compromise.
Since the beginning. Every map, every frag, every moment. I run, but I never hide. With knowledge comes power, and power is to be wielded wisely. Which is why, as the expert, I bet with Betway. If you know CSGO, then you'll know the best way to bet on esports is with Betway, for the love of the game.
It's domination in a can. Tastes like loser tears.
New Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
More people.
At ease, Maddie. USAA Bank is here to help. We don't charge monthly service fees, so you have
More money for your barbecue. Maybe some dessert?
all systems go on the cookie cake.
Find help at every turn with USAA Bank.
Summer. Relaxation, fun in the sun, adventure, once-in-a-lifetime experiences. But wait, what's missing? You. Power up your summer with 5-Hour Energy. And win one of 5 amazing experiences. Buy any 5-Hour Energy product, including Cherry Extra Strength. Snap a picture of your receipt and send it in. Because it's about time you are having the time of your life. Power up your summer with 5-Hour Energy.
Hey!
Uber? I'm LAPD.
Whoa, you're big. Getting a great ride. can help me crack a case. I've been working for years.
It's gonna be uber fun. Hold on, I'm gonna bang a Yui here real quick. Nope, don't got it. Hold on.
Super. Trailer online now.
EPL Pro League is brought to you in part by Intel, Occitanie, Betway, Mountain Dew Amp Game Fuel, and PaySafeCard.
University of Montpellier is one of the oldest in the world, founded in 1160, and having been granted a charter in 1220, now we're going to determine who's taking who to school. It's going to be Energy or G2 as we look into our first best of 3 of the day, and that is where the party begins, right about where the fun stops, which is right here on the desk with me. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to ESL Pro League. I do have 2 fresh faces that are ready to get back at it here, and then one being Sponge and one being just a penman.
Why does the fun stop here?
Well, I feel like with all the analytics, I don't know, it's just something that...
But we're vibing. We're all feeling like we're on a boat right now. Jacob, Sailor vibe. I've gone for like Hawaii. You've gone for Casual Fridays.
Yeah, I mean, like Casual Fridays maybe at the bowling alley. Like, perhaps that does make sense. Yeah, I think you guys are onto something there, but we're onto something more. Speaking of vibes, let's check in with the vibe of our commentators, who we have brought in some new ones. That's right, the others are done for the day, so these 2 best of 3s have been brought to you by none other than Anders and...
Do it, Trace. How dare you?
Moses. That's what I thought. Moses.
Yeah, we are ready to get started. This is going to be exciting. You are such a weird human being. How you enjoyed France? You just got in this morning. You had a bit of a rough travel.
Yeah, it was crazy. I left about 2 in the morning from Sweden, and then sort of traveled through most of Europe and made it here. It was great. It was fun.
Yeah. Speaking of so stupid, whoever organized that travel schedule.
Actually, I did that.
Yeah.
So it's just my own fault. But it was good.
Trace thought he was mic'd up. He's not currently mic'd up, so I'm watching for stupidity. Can we get a camera on this?
That was my fault.
Yeah, no, we have microphones. Thank you, Moses, for all that you brought.
I muted everybody.
You appreciate those guys, but maybe one more than the other.
Should we talk about a Counter-Strike? They're talking about travel.
Yeah,
they're
these
talking
guys
about this. They're talking
always
about
talking about something ridiculous. What we're going to talk about is G2 Energy.
Something not so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Who would have thought that the team with the in-game leader on the way out, who have actually brought Stanislaw along with them to practice? It doesn't make any sense. But
It's a weird timeline, isn't it?
They beat Fnatic earlier if you missed it, and yes, Daps has been removed from the team. Stanislaw will be coming in, but Daps has to play this event with them. So what we've seen so far is actually a pretty good performance out of Tarek, which is something that I think we were waiting to see come through. And I'm a Pet just did an interview with HLTV.org where he said with their new style, it's going to be Stan making the final say and Tarek chipping in a lot. So I wouldn't be surprised, Trace, if Stan's chipping in a lot here. I'm sorry, if Tarek's chipping in a lot here.
Yeah, I think that would be a very important question here. We're going to roll these vetoes out. I mean, again, this is a best of 3. It's going to look a little bit different than it has for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
But overall, there is a lot to understand about the leadership of NRG. You're talking about IGLs, you've got players chipping in, you got a coach. Like, what's really going on there, Jacob?
I mean, I think it makes sense that they will play well in a tournament like this. When you look at the players they have, Cirque, Ethan, Breeze, you know, not necessarily the smartest cookies within the Counter-Strike world, but when you look at their individual skill, I would say that they're some of the best players NA has to offer.
Okay.
I think they thrive well in an environment where Daps is maybe not as strict as he used to be. He was there, dedicated and a leader. I wouldn't necessarily say they lost respect for him, but they obviously have made the decision that he's no longer going to be that dedicated and giving. So now they can let loose, they can use some of that individual skill they have, and I think that's a good sign for them.
Yeah, I think you're onto something there. Chad, let me kind of point this one to you. We're going to train first, G2 Energy. How just much of a bloodbath could this be?
It makes a lot of sense. It's one of the better maps for NRG, and G2 it used to be their permaban when they had Body on the roster. They've gone back to Mirage, which was the old French permaban many a year ago, as the ban that they're going with now since Aminex joined the roster, so they had to get rid of that one. Wait, Mirage is the third, right?
Yes.
Yeah, sorry. There's obviously you have the whole situation going on right now, but I think NRG on train is really comfortable.
Okay, Jacob, one real quick question.
We're already ready.
One answer. Who's going to win this map?
I think NRG is going to win this one simply because they're better individual.
Wow. Well, there has it. The war drums have been sounded, and I'll go ahead and kick it down to the little drummer boy, Momo, and his symbolist. We do have Anders.
Well, there we go. We got there anyway.
It's just like, Best Time with Trace is like just Mad Libs over and over.
Well, I hope you guys are ready for it. Best of 3 coming up here between G2 and NRG. It's going to be G2 starting CT side and NRG on the T side. So let's see how they play this one out. They do have a Molotov there on the T side. I always like seeing that. There is a smoke on Aminex. Looks like he's about to use it, so that can always be risky, especially if it ends up B. But it looks like it might be mid-boom Ivy hit, actually.
Yeah, you've got to at least dedicate one person if you're Ethan or Cirque, at least one. And the question is, do the 3 players coming Ivy actually try go CT on and meet up with them? That would be really, really tough to accomplish. Coming through the smoke as well, Aminex got first contact, and he's going to continue to fall back. Kills traded. They're slowed down on this take, and Aminex get nothing done, but Shocks and Jacks arrive.
Yeah, he could have probably hit some of those shots, but it's almost like he baited them far enough back that it worked out in their favor anyway. Ethan and Cirque left here. Bomb dropped all the way on the other side at the back of Ivy, so they've got time to go and pick it up, and they've even stolen a USB in the middle of all of the chaos, so kind of hard to say who's going to win this right now. 40 seconds is not a lot of time, but it could be enough.
It certainly could be. I mean, tough part, Ethan has the USP with no armor as well. You almost feel like you should pass that off. Either way, Jax is going to spot them both. That's a great shot on Ethan. Armor be damned. Good trade from Cirque down into this one-on-one, and he's got the bomb as well. 20 seconds on the clock.
Ooh.
Ooh. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, he might have even realized he's going back for a little bit more. Another bullet would probably do it at that kind of a damage, but now he's falling back instead. Shock's trying to... He's already ready. That's pretty good on him. 8 seconds, so actually Cirque can't really fake it. He sort of has to go for it. Safe part in the middle of it. He might actually be run down here. Shock's right on top of him. He's going to be jumping over him, and somehow he hits the headshot. Oh my god, that was a lot of chaos for a pistol round.
Yeah, that really was, and especially right at the end. Cirque, he eats like probably like 6 or 7 seconds of the clock when he actually goes to get aggressive at Old Bomb, trying to go down that Ivy after doing a lot of damage to Shocks. I think that's what kind of ruins him, because he just had absolutely no chance whatsoever to get to a better position after the bomb goes down. That's a nice one-on-one win from Shocks.
Second round. Bomb plant right there. NRG are going to be picking up guns straight away, and that's not really any kind of surprise. Might even 2 Kriegs and an AK-47. They're pretty heavily armed.
Yeah, they really are, especially considering the Kriegs both have full sets of nade. Those Kriegs obviously dropped over to the players, so we'll see how this pans out. I don't know. G2, you have to imagine that they're going to expect this on a certain level. expect maybe AK. They don't think they'll expect maybe 2 Kriegs and an AK-47, but we'll see when the game is given up. Deep smoke in towards Ivy. We've seen some aggression for G2 in the past. Pushing behind these smokes. For the moment, it's just Amanek pushed halfway up Ivy.
Ethan, I think, taking a peek into that B ramp against Lucky, but nothing really comes of it. A couple of grenades left there on G2, but actually, they have enough for a decent execute right now on the NRG side. That could be interesting.
Yeah, they're going to have a very, very nice execute. At the moment, they can just wait out nades and all this. They're loving the sound of these grenades going off because they just want a little bit less utility, a little bit less things flying in their face when they eventually do decide to go. Tarek and Ethan. Tarek's got one of the Kriegs. They're going to have to clear out ladder room. Excuse me, Ethan's already down. They've already done that. So Tarek will have a free passageway back down. I think now is when we'll start to see this execute being lined up.
Get some of that deep in ladder, that could be pretty beneficial. A couple of, like one good flashbang and a peek from Ethan with a deagle, that could be all they really need. There come the flashbangs, now he's going to try and go for it, and actually, it'll be Tarek and Cirque to pick up a couple of opening kills there. They get one in return from Amanek, but that's a great opening. 23 seconds here as they're about to put down the bomb. It's a 3-on-4. NRG might have done it in this round.
Yeah, this is so great. Breeze and Tarek staying far back with the Kriegs as well, allowing the lesser equipped teammates to get up and get the bomb planted, the danger zones. But now, the retake looking very, very possible. It's just Breeze. He's the only one left. They had this round secured. It felt so good, and now he's got to swing out and stop this defuse. Doesn't realize he's off the bomb just yet, and the timing's not with him. Looks away. Lucky finishes it off, and somehow NRG let that one go.
Yeah, that was a pretty big gift that they got there. I almost felt like they got the bomb plant down, but then they couldn't really find any safe positions to stay in. Like they couldn't fall far enough back. So that was a bit unfortunate.
I think they were back far enough. I think they had a really tough time kind of coordinating which fights they were taking. I mean, when you have 2 Kriegs like that far back, so many players go down before the bomb is even close to being defused, right? Until anyone's even tapped it. And that's kind of the awkward part for the bombs, or for the fights they selected.
Well, a bit of a wasted opportunity. I don't think NRG are really going to be too upset about it, but obviously want to be careful here on the T side of trading. We've seen it before. Not really this round yet. I guess they're fighting pistols, but G2 don't have sort of all of the grenades. But once that CT side really starts to build and they suddenly have, you know, 5 Molotovs and 5 smokes and everything else, it just becomes a little bit of a nightmare playing that T side. Yeah,
real suffocating, especially for a team that's, you know, on the verge of swapping out in-game leaders. Everything we've heard from NRG, even just conversations, you know, behind the scenes and everything, has just been like, oh, we've been practicing with Stanislaw and we have to play with Daps here. So there is going to be probably a bit of confusion on some of these T sides. Now, on the other edge of that is that NRG is an extremely skilled team. So you never know, you know, if you're feeling uneasy in terms of tactics and teamwork, you might just go balls out with the skill side of things.
Yeah, we love that kind of play, don't we? That could be really interesting. And it's not necessarily either that I would say that G2 always have to be sort of the most tactical team, and they've got the firepower too. So that's the kind of game that we get. Daps, unfortunately, cratering. Of course, a little bit of help from Lucky there. They're going to get the bomb plant down. Oh, no, they're not.
I will say one thing. Nice nade. I will say one thing we haven't really discussed, and maybe one of the things that comes down, we talked about the inability of NRG to hold onto that bomb site in round 2. One thing that impressed us very much with G2 at DreamHack Dallas was their ability to retake bomb sites. They'd obviously been very, very planned out. We saw some craziness specifically on this map with their retakes. They will be very patient and go very deep into the bomb timer before they start retaking these bomb sites, but they're very, very effective in it.
That could be that could be a legitimate strategy as well. If you just control sort of key parts of that bomb site on B, and you don't really let the T's get out. You sort of let them in to get the bomb plant down, but then you control so much of the site that they can't really escape, and they're going to get grenaded as well. So I respect that kind of an idea. Shark's going to be playing close in Pop Dog, and I wonder how, because we've seen it so much now where people, they're not even playing in Pop, they're playing under the ladder, which seems to be working really well. It's like the flavor of the month right now.
Yeah, it can be sometimes an awkward fight, and I mean, that spam battle is always pretty 50-50, but this information helps. Jax is going to join up with him there. If Shocks goes down, Jax is going to have an immediate trade, and NRG has not moved across the map. 3 players still at the dumpster by T-Spawn. Breeze and Ethan just now starting to clear out box halls. They want to force Lucky off this angle. That's going to force Jax to fall away from ladder room and come support. So at least mission 1 accomplished. They've actually alleviated some of that defensive pressure outside.
Help him out a little bit. Ethan going to do his best to clear it out, but Scott's going to go up and get a bit worried now. Down to about 35 seconds. They have a pretty good grenade on Shock, so that might help out a bit, but still, with this little time left, not a lot has to go wrong here for NIG. If they drop the bomb in the wrong position, that could probably cost them everything. They're going to try and see if they can get down. Shocks on the other side, and that cancels out a whole arm of that push, and they're going to get absolutely crushed coming out of T-Main as well. Just no entry.
That's such a sick round from G2. All 5 players surviving. It looks easy. Even Shock's taking that early damage, but you said it. With the time the way it was, one thing goes wrong and Energy's screwed, and that smoke in ladder room was just so brutal. When they eventually do drop down, they can't see anything. Shocks just gets a couple of freebies in ladder room. From there, the crossfire set up in middle, and well done from G2. So 4-0, a pretty, I mean, it's a shaky 4-0. That round was great, but I mean, pistol round was very, very close. Second round, they probably should have been a victory for NRG. G2's on top so far.
Yeah, probably going to continue for a little bit here. They do have upgraded armor, but they're not going to check the corner, and Amanek is loving every second of this, except for the part where he runs out of bullets. That part wasn't fun. But otherwise, things are working out well down there. It's a triple for him. Daps back to 0. He got a kill in that round. He's -1 otherwise. So.
Oh, did he have a TK? Or
no, he felt
his death.
Yeah. Was getting shot by Lucky, so it wasn't really his fault.
Yeah, but I mean, we like to paint it that way because it's funny.
It is funny, especially when he's about to be.
All the misery is great.
So here we go, 5-0 in favor of G2. Leading into round number 6. We do have an AWP on Zerg, which I think is always exciting, although double AWP on G2, so let's see how much he's worth here.
Both those ops outside, both were in relatively the same position as well. Amanek with one watching Ivy, Kenny with the other in Hell, holding towards T-mid. If Amanek gets smoked off, that could be so dangerous. I mean, they're fortunate that NRG isn't putting more bodies towards Ivy, because Amanek with the AWP, if Kenny's the support with an off as well, that gets very dicey once the utility gets put in place. Shock's again going to be in ladder room.
Good grenade damage.
That actually tweaked out. I actually thought we were following a player for a second. I was wondering why Shox didn't shoot, but fair play.
See, that grenade is it is such a good idea to throw it up there. The problem is there's a vent that it lands on top of, and it's really hard to stop that from happening. So the vent up there with the pipe ate pretty much all of that damage. Ethan does still take a fair bit, but got a kill on Shox. That's his first death, by the way.
He's also got a lot of information, Ethan. He knows he sees 2 more defenders. He got the kill onto Shock, so now they can go back towards that inner bomb. So they have a very good call, and it's all of Lucky. He's got to get at least 2 kills here for them to have a great chance. There's the first, the angle with the AUG, and Ethan trades it off. Beautiful headshot. Now 2 ops on this retake. Jax, the only member with the AUG, and that is a fortunate survival from Ethan.
I was gonna say, why is he looking before the bomb goes down?
I don't know, but he's very lucky.
Now we've got the real nightmare. Double AWP retake, even with a flank coming in from Breezy over at Ivy. So very hard to imagine they could do this, but even worse, I don't think they can escape necessarily. So that's going to be a lot of money to give away, isn't it? Ethan set up nicely for that. Crab walk spray with the AK, and he gets a headshot. Quad kill for Ethan, in spite of our criticism of his little peek.
His little gopher game, peeking his head up at the bomb train. 5-1. That is a very nice round from Ethan. He had some stunning shots, 4 kills.
If you are going to play that gopher game, you want to knock in the gopher at least. That's really the trick. Like, try and be the guy with a hammer. That's what you.
Yeah, the guy with the hammer is definitely more fun. This one, like, what's he doing?
I don't even know really where the bullet went either.
I don't either.
But this is good news for NRG. They probably had a round earlier that they could have won. The second round where they sort of poured into it. And this time maybe they could have it could have been worse for them, but they're going to bring it back a little bit. Zerg though does go down, and it's going to be.
That's the biggest problem they had, right? Was so much money built up on G2. There's so many times that Kenny S can have an AWP, and it's just so deadly to have to repeatedly go up against it. He's found a pick this round. Daps trying to be creative. He's going to get caught out. 5-on-3 in the favor of G2, despite some success inside early on by NRG, at least forcing Shox and Lucky back off aggressive angles.
without taking any punishment, but now they're getting mopped up. Now it's all been individual and it's fallen apart.
Wow, the timing as well for that kind of a peak. Breezy not really standing a chance. Amanek will take him down. That's going to leave Tarek. And again, doing some damage here would be great, but it doesn't really look possible. And instead, the really swift revenge. It's going to be a problem, isn't it? If you do have enough for a buy on it, I'd be surprised if they try and force it up here because
They have
otherwise...
to, yeah. They have enough money for it.
Yeah.
You don't want this to slip too far away, and you want to keep the weaponry low for the G2 side. So immediate response from the defense. Double up setup, looking, what, 50-50 so far? One round loss, one round won?
Yeah, that's the math you're going with.
I don't want to be committed. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure.
Well, find out. I like this aggressive push from Tarek to get into Pop Dog. Sometimes you can even just catch CTs early on in the round that are just sort of like walking into your crosshair because they, they forget that someone could be there pretty quickly.
It's kind of, I mean, it's a little bit what we talked about, that limbo of in-game leaders and maybe being too individual. I think they're going to start getting punished for that. I mean, Ethan just dry walks out team mid, and that's it. They're going up against a defense they've known has been double up for some time. So those plays are not high percentage plays when you're going against two AWPs.
It really feels like NRG are expecting that there are going to be more fights happening on the CT side, but I don't see why that would be, especially when they're 4 and 5. But it seems like they're waiting around,
Yeah, look at the position of Tarek and Cirque, and we're past, 50 seconds left in the round. They haven't really moved any forward at all and tried to take any kind of control. So yeah, you're right. The fights aren't going to be taking place at that point. This is just a very patient defense from G2, just not doing anything crazy, but not making any mistakes, forcing NRG to be the aggressors.
The man advantage, that's kind of what you want to do now. Tapping away a little bit here is Jackson. A little bit of connection. That's a great headshot to take down. Tarek Damps with an opening coming out of Pop Dog. That's going to help out a little bit, but he's going to get shut down. Now there's only 20 seconds left in the bomb. Trying to see if it makes way onto the site. They needed Breeze to make some sort of an opening happen. It is not going to work. They only get the 2 kills now, so that is not enough. So 7-1 in favor of G2. This is such a great start for them.
Yeah, the tough part is there's not a whole lot for NRG to be happy about. The one round they've won so far was, what, Ethan with 4 kills. He got the entry and an important trade kill, and then just mops things up. You haven't gotten the bomb down since round 2.
They've been shut down, haven't they? Timeout being called for NRG. Maybe to discuss this very situation. Try and figure out, how to turn it around.
I'd like to see, I mean, obviously we know it's not going to be because Breeze has that AK-47. I'd like to see like a half buy out of NRG, right? And then the next gun round do something fast-paced. We haven't seen them do any kind of like really, really aggressive hit towards outside. Part of that is because of the utility, but you're just getting picked apart at the moment doing things slow, right? Like we've seen this enough rounds. Your slow tactics aren't being effective. You're losing players to AWPs. You're losing players for free just walking out of team mid. So try and get past those Molotovs. Just kind of push out and see what happens. And yeah, outside of Breeze, everyone else is on that half line.
Going to be a lot of grenades going into... Not that many, actually. They probably could have rushed teammate in that round. Jax on the bomb train itself. Kenny going to pick up 2 kills before they even make it out, and they're going to get shut down completely. Nobody goes down from G2, so that's going to build the money way out of control now. Obviously, he's the lead at 8-1. It's
a smackdown.
Yeah, it really is, isn't it?
Well, it's good to see as well. I mean, we're in France. Might as well get a French team up on stage. Might as well get them in front of the crowd.
I really appreciate that. I mean, that'd be good. And I mean, we are living in the sort of revitalization of French Counter-Strike.
Okay. Yeah, I was wondering where you were gonna go with that. I was a bit scared.
You scared for a minute?
I thought you were gonna say something ridiculous like the French era.
Oh, no, not yet. I do make a lot of strange predictions like that.
We were just talking earlier. You have MIBR winning the major.
You don't need to mention it all the time, Moses.
I just want to make sure we refresh everyone's memory that Anders Bloom did indeed say that MIBR was going to win the major.
Well, it's going to be glorious when they do it. Like, that's all I can say. Like, it's going to come in and everyone's going to be laughing, and then they'll be like, oh, he's so good now.
How's he done it again?
Why? Well, here we go. Back in the game. Round number 10. Talked about speed, waiting around, has usually just lost them some of the entry fights, and then they've sort of ended up wasting a fair bit of time. 3 Ivy, you can do some really fun things with smoking off towards yard and everybody sort of rushing the one side. You could do it the other way too if you wanted, but you actually have to make it around that corner. If you lose like one person trying to set that up, it's not so great anymore.
I find it pretty interesting. We saw Amanek and Kenny S with the 2 AWPs previously. Now Shox has the second off, and Ethan's gonna take his head clean off. Forces Kenny to rotate over, and actually it takes everyone away from Ivy. This is a great call from NRG. Really manipulating the rotation, whether they read it or not. They've got a pretty free Ivy control all the way to the end. Now they just have to get out.
Amanek losing a bit of patience there. This time G2 were forced to make a couple of peaks, you know, just to try and equalize that 4 and 5, and it cost them another player. And this is looking much better. Cirque patiently holding it here. AWP, I'd be a little bit scared, but he does have backup behind him. He could probably still end up winning the fight. 40 seconds, the bomb slowly getting there, and Cirque so ready for it. Good hold from him. Not much Kenny can do outside of a little flick. But yeah, causing economic damage, I think, is the best case scenario for him right now.
Not even do that at this point. In a 1-on-4, you got your 1 kill, try and survive. And yeah, hopefully you can do economic damage in the process, but going for kills, not going to give you a whole lot. And there's Ethan. Wrapping around behind very quick. A second round finally for NRG. But still money for the Frenchman. You can see Lucky has 12,000. Kenny's got 12,000 as well. They can drop, they can rebuy the AWPs. So G2's going to be all good.
It's a little bit of comfort, and it's not that this first half is lost for them. 8-2, they can bring it back. If they get up to like 5 rounds, I think then it's pretty recoverable.
Well, they have that full, I mean, not the full anymore with that 1 round, but they do have the losing bonus is going to be in their favor, so that's going to help them a little bit be able to sustain and try and build upon that win, upon that second round. But now you can see kind of later in the stages, before it wasn't a very aggressive defense. This time it is. Pop Flash, 2 players pushing through, and they've got 3 kills. The Augs ring out. NRG caught that flashbang pretty well and could get nothing done. There's barely even any damage dealt to Jax.
I can hardly believe it. That flashbang was so good. They could have probably tried to knife them instead. Like, everybody was flashed forever out there. It was so good that Amanek actually came swinging out, looking into the wrong corner, and just continued to spray all the way through, and they just
still was able to get the kills.
Still made it happen. Now, it's just a question of really not making any mistakes here if you're on the G2 side. It's not worth giving a lot